So, I recently made a video about the Yennefer featurette of the upcoming Witcher show on Netflix, and boy, what a terrible experience it was to go through the comments. Never in the history of my channel have I ever had a video where so many people comment without watching and without even knowing what it is about. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, this kind of thing happens once every other day, but never to such an extent. I'd urge people to watch before commenting, but I realize they aren't going to hear it anyway. Besides, this will be a rather positive video, so it'll probably not get that much attention, but still it has to be made. So let's have a talk about Geralt's featurette this time. In fact, let's go over it and do a bit of a reaction video, although I've already seen it once. So here it goes.
What is a Witcher?
White hair, big old loner, two very, very scary looking swords. I know who you are.
So, Dandelion. I like his outfit. Not quite sure about his expressions, but he's quite the important character in the books, especially the first ones, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of him.
A Witcher is a mutant, and their trade in particular is monster hunting.
The Butcher of Blaviken!
I've already discussed Geralt's look in this scene in my previous videos, but allow me another bit of small criticism here for the background. It just looks unnatural to me. Fake, if you will.
You are almost universally hated by every species on the continent.
And it's the butchering of Blaviken once again, the one thing we see in every single trailer. I suppose it's really going to be a major focal point of the show, and that's alright, it's probably the most Geralt-centric part of the Last Wish book. I just wish they also included Nivellen. Here's a shot of the crowd in Blaviken. I received a lot of criticism for saying that I like the costumes in the Witcher fan film better than the Netflix show, you know, because it's not out yet and I can't say for sure, but I still say I do. I think the fan film does them in a more authentic way.
It's unlikely you're going to have a cheery personality.
I remember this scene where Dandelion and Geralt are held by the elves, but I can't quite tell who this old man is who is punching Geralt, I think. As for the overall statement the actor makes about the universal hatred towards Witchers, that is also true. Though I suppose mostly on the part of humans. Elves and dwarves, not so much, especially not the dwarves.
But Geralt himself,
This looks very reminiscent of the Killing Monsters trailer.
despite the stony exterior, is actually quite good, but very capable of doing bad things. Geralt isn't simply a white knight. He isn't simply a harsh monster hunter. He's an incredible blend of the two. The rumors about witches are that they don't have emotions,
You take no prisoners, so I hear.
and that is perpetuated by them.
That is very true and interesting. And I especially like Henry's expression here when he says it. You can tell he's excited about it. So, Witchers have emotions, that's beyond a doubt. It almost seems like they're using this myth, which they perpetuate themselves, as an excuse to pretend that they only care about the money and not about anything else, and perhaps also as an excuse to remain neutral and not take sides too often. And can we say that this is true for all Witchers in general, like he does in the video? Well, I suppose so. We do not learn too much about other Witchers from the books. The games expand a little on them, and overall I think it's true. For example, the very first dialogue you have with Vesemir after the first cutscene is how he needs something to care for in order to keep going.
Sometimes there's monsters, sometimes there's money. Rarely both.
When they're created, they undergo alchemical trials, which is a combination of elixirs and magic.
Are they going to show the makings of a Witcher? I doubt it. I guess they're simply playing suitable footage while he speaks.
Which have very aggressive effects on their bodies. This allows them to take various potions.
Is this a dwarf? It's so dark, I can't tell.
These potions enhance them in various and different ways. The signs that witches cast, they are basic magic, but very, very effective.
The Ard once again reminds me of the Night to Remember trailer this time. It sends a wave of light in addition to the Force, kind of like here.
You often see this very dry humor come through, which is one of the more charming aspects of Geralt.
You smell of death and destiny.
It's onion.
The humor thing is right. Geralt is often a man of very few words, though I think they forget to mention another trait of his character here, and those are the moral philosophy rants that he goes on at times. Well, rants may not be the best way to describe it, but he does tend to philosophize from time to time. Also, not a big fan of his all black, all leathery look. I much prefer his civilian appearance, actually.
Right, yeah.
Destiny is one of the major themes, which is a force which is controlling him and indeed the world around him. Geralt aggravates Destiny. He doesn't believe in it. But it turns out there may be a little more to it.
Find her.
Okay, Destiny. He doesn't believe in Destiny. He's destined to be with Ciri. She's his destiny. She's the child of Destiny. Destiny binds them together, but is it just Destiny, or is it Destiny and something more than Destiny? Yeah, that's all true. And I must say, I think the books dwell on this a little too much. To me, it felt unnecessary, I suppose. The thing is, Geralt and little Ciri have a very strong chemistry together from the get-go. Their interactions are very relatable and likable, and it was some of the best parts of the books in my opinion. And so all this talk of Destiny didn't really mean too much to me, since they already had a strong human connection to begin with.
Geralt's greatest strength is his capacity to still love despite having been treated incredibly harshly. Despite what he says, he still believes in the goodness of people.
I'm pretty sure they mean it in a way where people in general treat him harshly, but he still retains the ability to love and care for others and so on. Although I'd like to think that they meant Yennefer specifically, treating him harshly and him loving her despite of that, because that's basically how he falls in love after she, well, abuses him basically.
And you couple that with incredible sword skills, speed, agility, and endurance, then you have an interesting character.
And there we have it. Watching his video was the complete opposite experience for me when comparing it to the Yennefer one. I found myself agreeing with pretty much everything the actor said about the character of Geralt, and I know that Henry Cavill, or Henry Cavill, however you pronounce it, is actually a fan of the games, especially the third one, and he is, in my opinion, the best thing about the Netflix show, at least based on the marketing we've had so far. There are some other videos of him outside of Netflix materials, where he talks about The Witcher books and games and Geralt.
I have been a big fan of the IP for a while now. Yeah.
Why? I mean, you just love the games, love the books?
I love the games. The games are, especially Witcher 3, super immersive. And I don't know if anyone here is a gamer or anything, if everyone's played the games, but super immersive. And when I was playing it, I always thought it'd make a great movie or TV show. And
no kidding.
Yeah. And then I do that a lot with a lot of games and books. And then I heard that Netflix were making it, and I had my agents on the phone every day.
And basically the guy appears genuine and gives me a lot of hope for the show. Also, I don't like this interviewer here. Henry says he was first introduced to the games and then the books, and the guy is trying to correct him as if he knows better.
And I first was introduced to it via the games.
The book series on which this is based.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then he actually gets confused for a moment, but then goes back on track.
And
the video game.
Then I learned that there were games, books. And
Anyway, I can't say that this actor is the first one to come to my mind when imagining Geralt in a movie or a show, but the more I see and hear from him, yeah, I think he'll do just fine. What particularly sells it to me is that he seems to understand the character well. And like I said, I didn't quite get that from the Yennefer featurette, where they end with her being epic.
She's epic. What more do you want? Everything.
Epic is one of the last words to come to my mind if anyone wants me to describe Yennefer, and it's not in a bad way, but anyway. Henry Cavill. I feel he may be carrying the show for us, and why not? We're about to find out soon. So that was it. Tell me what you thought of all of this. I thank you very much for watching and for your support, and until the next video, stay tuned and be good.
A knight, in turn, might, with color, signal the nature of his vow. White, to show he's made a vow of chastity, for instance.
Need to stop introducing myself as the White Wolf, then.
My sister mentioned a witcher had come to town.
Sister had it right. Let's go somewhere secluded. I like you. Like to spend the night with you. Yeah, think we can have some fun?
All right.
I'm tired. Like to relax with a beautiful woman. Preferably an elf.
Wait.
For what? What I want.